Well, hi everyone, and thank you very much for watching. Liam Hartree here today with another episode of Presenting Champions. Today is episode 234, I believe, and today I'm joined by a very special guest indeed. Truly excited and truly honored to have this man on the show. Today's guest, Daryl Lokoku. I think I'm saying that the right way. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And today's guest has competed in Lethwei, Japan. He's fought some of the greats, including Tan Tan Min as well. Competed in Japanese MMA for the Rizin Fighter Federation, primarily in a kickboxing capacity. Has also competed against some great names in Japanese MMA. For other promotions. This man has had an incredible life journey so far, including hailing from Kanasha in the Congo, but now living and fighting out of Japan. So there's got to be a great story behind his transition there. But there's a lot to talk about today, and as always, a little bit of inspiration and motivation as well. So, Champ, thank you so much for coming on the show, and it's a pleasure to have you on here. Thank you.
Thank you too for inviting me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, and hopefully, I've covered everything with that introduction. But with your life, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. Starting at the beginning, if we go back in time a little bit, obviously, as I mentioned, you are originally from Africa, originally from the Congo. You now live in Japan. So one of the things I'm curious to do is go back in time to the beginning of your martial arts journey and where you started in terms of your initial foundation back in Africa.
Yeah, I can say I was living in Congo. I was born in Congo. My father, my family were from Congo. And first I started judo. I was doing judo when I was like a youth. I started judo when I was 5 years old. Me with my brother, we started judo because our father was doing judo. That's why I started judo, and I be national team, Congolese national team for judo. I fight for my country, and I came Japan 2010. I came Japan first was 2010 World Cup, Judo World Cup. Then I fought like two fights, I lost. Then we back to the Congo, and I was impressed by Japan. And I was like that time, I was planning to do MMA. I was seeing it like MMA. That time it was Pride and K1. And I was like, I have to do K1, I have to do Pride. Then I pay my ticket, I come back to Japan, and then I start MMA.
Okay, so that's how the journey started. Amazing. Talk to us a little bit about when you first came to Japan. We'll come back to the fighting specifically, but just in terms of you and adapting to the culture and the language and everything being quite different, was it an easy transition for you, or was it quite difficult to sort of get used to everything and all the differences?
Yeah, it was very, very difficult at the time because in Congo we speak French. Like Japan, they speak Japanese and English. Like most of Japanese, they don't really speak English, only Japanese. And in the first, it was very, very difficult for me because even when I came to Japan, I went to the MMA gym. Everybody was talking Japanese, only me in French and a little bit English. It was really, really difficult. But I learned Japanese like in my, I went to Japanese class and in the gym too. That's why I learned my Japanese. But in the beginning, it was really, really difficult. Really, really difficult.
Absolutely. And it's amazing because I think it's very brave, to leave your home country, to go to a new country and chase your dream, I think it's a very brave thing to do. So
Yeah.
much respect for that. We will talk about the different styles you've competed in shortly. We'll talk about MMA, but I also want to ask you about Lethwei as well, because Lethwei
Yeah.
is something that I think interests a lot of people. It's a sport that's getting more recognition in the Western world, obviously very, very well known in the Eastern world. But in terms
Yeah.
of your inspiration to compete in Lethwei, did that come from the K1 side of things? Was that where you first got the idea? Or where did you first get the idea to try Lethwei?
Yeah, let's way was it was not my idea. It was like I was like training like That time, I think before I fought Lethwei that month, I had like a MMA fight. And I didn't know about Lethwei before. I didn't know about that. Just like one of my contact called me like 3 days like before the fight, like Gary, we need some fighter to fight because the opponent was like get injured. We need to replace somebody. That's why we're looking for like a fighter. I was like, which kind of fight? They told me Lethwei. I was like, who's Lethwei? What is Lethwei? I didn't know that. And they they tell me like it's like kickboxing, like but you fight with gloves. I was okay. How we do? How we do? Let me do that. And it was like my first fight, let's way. It was not really like let's way. That was like a kind of MMA kickboxing in Japan. And they say like the opponent is let's way champion Myanmar. Is it? His name was Tuntumi. It's like a lightweight champion Myanmar, but we have to fight like a kickboxing style. I was like, okay, let's me do that. And 3 days, they called me just 3 days, and I decided to fight, and I win the guy. I won the guy in first round, and the guy was champion. He came with like many like supporter. He came with like a national TV. Everybody was for him, and I win him in uh, one round. And they was like, this is like not good for him. Can you do like a revanche, like let's way in Myanmar? I was anytime I beat him. They just called me 3 days before the fight. I beat him. Why you know if you give me like a more months to training about Lewe, I can do that. That's the way I start let's way. And I start training. I start like watch the video from YouTube, how the training, how the fight is going, and then I start let's way like that.
Absolutely amazing. Defeating
Mm.
Tun Min, such a legend of the game as well. It's
Yes.
amazing. Obviously, you went back to competing that a bit more with Lethwei Japan. Something
Mm.
that interests me about this is obviously it's different. It must be different training, with the headbutts aspect, with the
Yeah, really,
gloves.
really different.
Yeah, can you
It's
share with us
really different.
how you do that, how you train for that?
Yeah, I was like first like when I started like training let's way, I went to a kickboxing gym because it's like kind of kickboxing, you know. I went to kickboxing gym like a Muay Thai, and my coach always was watching like let's way training how to do the hands, everything, and my training mood was changed. Like I have to training like even I eat the sandbag, I have to eat like with the gun like only like this, and my training was pushing me like Dari, do like you don't need to wear the gloves, you don't need to wear the glove, just training like that. And my coach was like pushing me every day. I was training morning with the coach, night time with the coach, and he pushed me too much. Like a let's weight training is really different about MMA training, really, really different. The skill is really different. How to block the head, everything he was teaching me. And then I start like adapt about training about let's wear.
Absolutely. Fascinating,
Mm,
fascinating. An amazing
mm,
story. Out of the fights that you have had in the Lethwei before we move on to MMA and everything else,
mm.
do you have one that you're more proud of than any of the others, or are they pretty much equal in the importance in your mind, if you get what I mean? Do you have a favorite one?
Yeah, like about let's wear.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, my like the fight when I fight with the champion of let's wear in Myanmar, his name was good to me. That was the really fight I do. I think in my life because I training hard for that, and the guy was champion. He fight about 100 like 125. In Myanmar, let's say fight is like every week. In 1 month, people can fight like 4, 5 times in 1 month. And the guy is out, you have a record about that's 125 like this. And he just lost one fight. And I was like, okay, I do to my coach, I will fight him, but the guy is really dangerous. But I will do my best. And then we went to Myanmar. Like it was like a World Cup, like a Lethwei World Cup match for the belt, and I was like the only me. No, like people support me and my coach, and everybody was supporting guy because he was on his country, and I was a little bit afraid. It was like we do like 5 rounds, 3 minutes, like a 24, 25 minutes, and had the hands. Thank God I didn't lose, and the guy was not good. We do the job. Was that I do my best for that fight. I think I do my best to fight with the champion in his country, and I do my best. I didn't lose. That was my best fight, I think.
Absolutely. It's something to be so proud of. An amazing
Yeah,
achievement, incredible
yeah.
achievement for you and for your legacy and everything in the sport. Obviously, you mentioned earlier on about when you arrived in Japan, part of your dream was the K1, was the actual kickboxing, the traditional kickboxing. And obviously you have fought in kickboxing as well. So the same type of thing as with the Lethwei, it would be great to talk about some of your favorite fights, some of your favorite moments, because the thing is, you've had too many fights to talk about all of them individually. So what I'm looking at is like some highlights, some of the moments that stay with you, because watching the fight that's one thing, but you are the one who was there in the ring.
Yeah.
So your memories are different. You will have your own favorite moments. So with kickboxing, what are some of your favorite moments, some of your favorite achievements in Japan and in that sport?
Okay, okay. In kickboxing in Japan, I would say it was my first fight with Rising in
Yeah,
2020, and I fight with Japan kickboxing champion. Like they call me like, Barry, can you fight with kickboxing? You MMA, we know, but before you used to do like a Lethwei, Lethwei, and you can fight kickboxing. I was like, I fight with you. And they showed me the picture, they showed me the link. I check in the Google. Like, damn, that guy is the champion. He got a 2 belt. Why my first fight with kickboxing and you give me the champion? But I was okay. I will do my best. And I was like, wow, they put me in another problem again. And the guy is so famous in Japan, and is so like he win all of his fight. He never lost. And I was like, okay, I will do my best on fighter, even MMA, kickboxing, all is like fighting. I will do my best. And it was my great moment to fight with him. We do 3 rounds. He won the fight. He won the fight by 2 points. But it was like for me, I'm like I'm pro with that because to fight the champion, he got a 2 belt, and we do like the green match, and he finished good. He win me by 2 points. I'm a pro of that fight. I'm pro for that fight again. That's like my famous fight, and it was my fighting with Rising. Rising now is like the big federation of like martial art. And my first fight, I fight with the champion, and I did my best. Even I lose by 2 points, but it was like my famous fight for myself.
absolutely. Yeah. Something to touch on here as well. The Japanese people, they have so much respect for fighters, for martial arts, for combat sports. Obviously, such a long history and everything like that. What are your thoughts on like the Japanese people's awareness of martial arts, even with the way they react to fighters, they appreciate and respect their fighters differently, I would say, to other countries in the world, in terms of the appreciation. What would you say to that in terms of like their awareness of you when you fight, like in the crowd, when you get recognized when you're going around places, like the Japanese people's awareness of combat sports and their appreciation of it, if you understand what I mean with this one.
Yeah, yeah. I can say like I have a lot of respect for Japanese people and Japanese martial art fan because they give a lot of respect. Even you lost, even you win, all is like about martial art. And I push that because I fight in many countries. I fight in many countries too. You see the people react, but in Japan. Even you lost, if you do green fight, when you when you finish, and they will support you. Thank you for coming fighting. Even you lost, you will do the best next time. It's just about the fight. And that's why I love like to say like a thing for like a Japanese fan, martial art fan. They really like they push you to training hard. Even you lost, they give you chance like a training. You're gonna be back, and they have a respect about fighter. Lot of respect. When I say lot of respect for fighter, and they know to respect like a martial art fighter. I can say like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible. You mentioned that you've competed in many countries as well. I mean,
Mm.
today we've spoken about Japan a little bit, but do you have some other favorite places that fighting has taken you? The reason I ask this is I think it's inspiring for young fighters who are like up and coming, they're just starting because it shows them where the sport can take you, like it can take you around the world, to see
Yeah.
obviously there is the respect, the money, the being the best you can be, but there's also something people don't really talk about that much is it can take you around the world. So of the other places that you have fought and competed, do you have certain ones that stand out in your mind as being very special?
Mm, please, can you repeat one more time, please?
Problem. So of the places you have traveled to compete,
Yep.
do you
Yep.
have like a favorite places that fighting has taken you to in terms of
Mm.
the culture or because we have spoken like only about Japan and about the
Yep.
Congo, but other
Yep.
places you've been, do you have favorites?
Yeah, I can say in Myanmar, I think in Myanmar. And Myanmar too, they love like Lethwei in Myanmar is like a national sport. Like people in Myanmar, they give like Lethwei fight a lot of respect. And when I went to fight the Myanmar champion, when I went there, and they give me like what I can say, they give me a lot of love. I was like, people they came, they know I'm MMA fighter. I fight with the champion. Even like the gym I was training, they teach me and they say, Dari, you know, you're good, but he's the champion. He's the champion. We don't want you to lose, but it's difficult to say like you're gonna win him easily. And they was give me some like advice. And the last day before my fight, they gave me a lot of love in the gym, and people come to check my hand to give me motivation. Even I fight them even I fight in Myanmar with the champion of Myanmar, but some people, the lover of fighter, they come to give me hands. Even when the fight finished, even his coach, he bring me to the restaurant to eat. Like he say like everything is about the fight. Only fight when we finish fight, we are family, we are fighter. We have to give love together. That's I appreciate that like kind of that people who love like martial art. Myanmar was amazing for me.
Incredible experience. It is amazing for people to hear about this because from watching the fight only, you don't get to see everything else that happens, So it's amazing. Thank you. Talking about MMA itself, obviously, a
Yep.
sport for which you are well known, for which you get a lot of respect. Um, when it comes to MMA, I'm going to ask a different question about this. Which fights stand out for you as being the most challenging or being the toughest fights that you were in, that you overcame? Toughest fights can be in different ways. It's not always the hardest punch, but sometimes the most technical person, or it comes in different ways, if you know what I mean. But which ones stand out for you as being your most challenging fights in your MMA career so far, please?
Yeah, I can say is the day I became champion in the one federation here in Japan, named Gurachan is like one of the biggest federation MMA in Japan. And I was training hard to be to fight with the champion. and he was really good with technique, physical, everything, stand up, everything. He was good. And when I was watching his fight, it motivated me to training more hard. And when we come to the fight, like I use my judo because my background was judo. It was hard fight. We do like 3 rounds. It was like what I can say, hard fight for me. And at the last, I won the champion by decision because I do a lot of technique in that fight. I use a lot of technique I never used before. I was like ambition to be the champion, and that fight is always in my memory to become champion that day. It was in 2019.
Yeah. Very proud achievement again. Amazing achievement. Something to be very proud of. Obviously, moving into a couple of intangible things because soon we will talk about your future in the fight game as well. But before we do, I'd just like to mention something else. Obviously, you have competed in many different styles now. You know, we've got judo, we've got kickboxing, Lethwei, MMA. What would you say are some of the ways that being a martial artist and practicing every day and chasing your dream to be great, how would you say martial arts has improved you as a person, not so much in just in the skills of fighting, but in daily life, if you understand what I mean with this one?
Yeah, yeah. I can say like martial art gives me a lot of relax. I can say a lot of relax about like life. Sometimes like we even sometimes we go like drink with friends. Sometimes we go like. But when I start martial art, like the way I'm training in the gym, sparring, do everything like fighting, and when I'm outside, even people in the club, they try, they push me. I don't want to fight because it's scaring me, you know. It gives me that, what I can say, martial art gives me a lot of relax because I'm thinking if I fight this man, maybe he can break maybe the bone, maybe I can break him. That's why, like, what I can say, martial art gave me relaxing to fight outside. It gives me that relaxing. Like, I know, like, if I fight outside with some people, maybe I can make him injure. So that's why I can say martial art gives me the relax to fight outside. Only in the ring and training, that's like a martial art give me relax. That's I can say chilling. It gives me shit. Easy life when I go outside.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very good lesson, very good life
Yeah,
lesson. I like that. And another thing that people might not see just from watching the
mhm.
fights, if you get what I mean, is you have to have a strong mind to compete as well as a strong body. You have to have the strong, like the willpower. So
Yeah.
when you have a fight coming up and you are preparing for it, obviously you're training hard. But what do you do in your mind to prepare for a big fight?
For the big fight, when I have fight, in the first, I don't want to think about my opponent. When I think about my opponent, that's making me a little bit like scared. Like I know many fighter when they are fight, they check opponent maybe every day. Go to YouTube, how he fighting, what he's doing. Me, that's part I don't do that. If I start watching my opponent, that's making me like a little bit scary, and I cannot training well. That's my opinion. I don't train. I cannot training well because if I watch so much the opponent, every time it's coming to my mind. I cannot training like that. Even sparring, I can do if I do that. It can fancy me like that. If I do that, I just training like I push myself like training hard and my mentality like I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Just I ask my coach, my opponent is southpaw or are we fighting? I just ask my coach. My coach watch everything for me. And then me, my coach, I just training hard and my mind is like focused to win the fight. I don't really watch my opponent.
Absolutely.
But every time I do that, every time I do that, I know one fight I was watching my opponent, I was a little bit scared.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing because not many fighters will admit to having the nervousness and everything like that, you know. So it's good that you put that out there, and it's good that you have ways of managing that experience, you know. As
Yep,
well as that, obviously you left Africa to come to Japan, you know, you sort of risked
yep,
everything to achieve your dream, you know. So what would
yep.
you say to people out there in the world, anywhere in the world now, who want to achieve a dream, like a big goal, you know, like you had a big goal, you say, oh, you know, I'm going to leave behind everything I know to make this happen, you know. What would you say to people who like they want to do something big in their life? They have a goal, they don't know exactly how to get it. Imagine if they asked you, what do I have to do to achieve my dream, my goal? Whether it's in fighting or whether it's just in life, you know. I know this is a big question, but because you've achieved so much in your life, I think you're in a good position to share a little bit of advice for people, if you get what I mean with this. So maybe just one or two things you regard to be very important to achieving a big dream, you know?
Yep. That is like a very important question. I can say like focus on the dream. Just focus on the dream. What you want. You have to know what you want and what you want to do. If you want something, just like give your time, all your time in. Like what are you gonna do? What is for your future? Some people they dreaming, I wanna be like this, but they don't focus about what's it gonna be, what's it gonna do. Just talking, okay, one day I can be like this. No, when you talk, one day you can be like this, working on. If you put work in, what you love, what you wanna do, one day your dream become true. I don't say all. Sometimes people like you focus, but something don't work. But I can say like for me, 100% like what you wanna do, what you wanna be, it's depend of you. Just focus about what you do. Even people, they talk to you like you can, but you know you can. Just try and focus on. One day, maybe your dream will become true. Maybe one day, because I know even me when I start like fighting as amateur, I lost some fight too. But even my friends, they was sleep together because when I came Japan, it was not easy. I sleep with some friends. They didn't come to watch my fight. They was like, we know if we come, you're gonna lose. But I was like, okay, I know I'm fighter. I will do my best. One day you will come to my fight. And when I start like a win-win, and the same people, I was living with them, I was drinking with them. They were, oh, Dari, we come to the fight. When the next fight? And they come, they support you, are the champion. But in the beginning, nobody was believing. Everybody was, even my friend, he was like, yeah, you're gonna fight, man. I don't care. I knew you're gonna lose, but I knew what my dream. I was focused. Even I lost back to the gym training and back to the fight. Just I can say like, focus on your dream, believe in yourself. One day you're gonna make it.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful message, you know, beautiful
Yeah,
message, powerful message as well. And
yeah,
I'm very grateful for you sharing that, because I like to give people some motivation and some positive things in these talks. Obviously, it's late in your evening, so we're moving to the last couple of things, and then
yeah,
we can finish this up, you know, shortly because I know it's getting late for you. So I say maybe two, maybe three topics, and then we'll wrap this up. One thing that just to touch on briefly, to mention is in Asia, there is a lot of like spiritual traditions to combat sports as well in certain sports, you know. What are
yeah.
your thoughts on like your experiences with like the spiritual aspects of martial arts? You know, I think in some parts of Japan, like I've had people on here, they have rituals like the cleansing rituals and things before competing. I don't know how much that's in MMA. It might be more in other things. But what are your thoughts on the spiritual aspect that you've encountered while living in Asia, you know?
Yeah, I can say in Asia, like martial art is like a religion. I can say it's like a religion in Asia. People they do martial art is not for money, for love, for religion. Like they do that like what I can say. It make me what I can say in Asia people mentality is really strong. Mentality is really strong. Like about the martial art. Like I know many people even in my gym. Like I didn't do that, but I was like surprised. One of my guy now he fighting with one championship. His name is Kami Kubo. He came to my gym. He start MMA. I see him the way he came gym 9 a.m. in the morning, and he the one to left gym 11 p.m. You see, every day he was in the gym, sleeping in the gym. Like he was like, Barry, this is like my life. I finish with the jiu-jitsu. I try to do MMA, and I will put myself in. And the guy one year, 2 year, he become famous. Like it's like a really his mind. Their mind is strong for the martial art. If he say like I'm gonna do that, I'm going to do that. He will do. He put himself on. The way I say like believe what you gonna do, what you gonna be. And martial art in this Asia people for Asia people is like religion. It make them mind strong, and they don't do that for money. They do that for love, for motivation. That's why I got a lot of experience about martial art in this country. Sometimes I'm like, even my kid, I have to put them in martial art to make them mind strong. And Asia people, they send kid in the school combat, like 3 years, 4 years old, they send them. You see the Thailand, if you watch Thailand video, Thailand, I can say like Thai is like the capital of martial art in the world. You see them, young people, they training, the kid, they training, they put, the mind is so strong. For Asia people, it's like life and religion for martial art. They have a lot of love for that. That's what I can say.
Absolutely, yeah. Amazing insight into the culture, into your experiences. So the last couple of things for this talk, obviously your future plans, you know, your dreams,
Mm,
because we've spent some time looking back to things that have happened, but
yeah,
looking forward, I think that the future is very bright for you. In other words, there's some big things yet to come
mm,
for you. There's some big things going to happen. So,
yeah.
talk to us a little bit about what your dreams and goals are for the future from this point going forward, please.
Yeah, I can say my dream first when I came Japan to do MMA, I was like, one day I can become champion. That was my dream, and I put myself on. I get some like a better from like some federation here, and now I signed a contract to Rising. And my dream is like a one day to become champion of Rising, and that's why I'm training every day. I'm focused about training, and one day I can be the champion of Rising because Rising now, not in Japan, even in the world, is like a high level federation of MMA. To be champion there is not easy. That's why I every day when I wake up, I got a motivation to training hard, and one day I can be. It's not like magic. It's not like easily, but I put myself on training hard. One day I can be the champion of Rising. That's my dream right now.
Absolutely. Amazing. Amazing. Well, I believe you'll get there. You know, you keep working hard, keep being dedicated and believing, and
Yeah.
you know, anything is possible. Anything. So the last question really is just to give a mention to the people who watch your fights and the people who support your career, whether that is physically, like in the people you train with and everything, but also people, on the internet, or people who watch your fights on the streaming, or anything else, just the people who support you, whatever form that happens, whichever way that happens. What would you say to those people who support and encourage you, whether they are there in Japan or whether they are anywhere else in the world watching you fight?
I can say first, say thank you guys for watching me, thank you guys for supporting me, and we just what I can say, I will do my best for you guys, and one day I will be champion rising to make you guys pro. And now I just thank you guys for always supporting me, even I lost, even I win. You always reach me, you send me the message, the love message. I will give you back when I be champion rising. That's like my promise for you guys. All the world will support me. Thank you guys so much. And now I'm training hard to make you guys pro. And one day we will get the best of rising. Thank you guys.
Absolutely amazing to give them a thank you and to give them a mention. And the last thing for me to say, champ, is just to say thank you. Thank you for coming on this show, taking time out of your day. And thank you for doing this, because obviously it's not in your first language either, because we've got obviously English, we're doing this, but you've got French, you've got Japanese. So that's a brave thing to do, and obviously
Yeah.
taking time out of your day as well, out of your evening. So I'm just very, very grateful. So my thanks to you for everything.
Thank you to thank you too for inviting me. Really thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.